There is a stiffish breeze from the north, but despite torrential rain last evening, the ground will be in tip-top condition. Now let's meet the teams for today's match. Despite one or two rumblings after the first test, the New Zealand selectors have stayed with the team that won 18-13 at Lancaster Park a week ago. One of the few players to emerge with credit that day was number 15, Kieran Crowley. Once again, his goal kicking will play a vital part in the match. Number 10, Wayne Smith, had a match he'd rather forget in Christchurch, so look for a much improved effort from New Zealand's most capped first 5/8 this afternoon. Much of the interest in the New Zealand forward pack will centre on the front row. Knight, Ashworth and Dalton have come under much scrutiny lately, but undoubtedly lift their game from last week. Number 2, Andy Dalton, today captains the All Blacks for the 16th time in a test match. Like the All Blacks, the England side will be the same as played at Lancaster Park. Number 15, Hugh Davis, is retained at fullback despite playing in his normal position of first 5/8 midweek. Number 12, Jamie Salmon, returns to Athletic Park, a ground on which he played a lot of rugby in the early 1980s. Number 5, Steve Bainbridge, has once again been asked to carry a huge burden of the line-out for England, while the tourists will be hoping that the loose trio of Teague, Cook and Hall can get around the field and to the loose ball as quickly as they did last Saturday. Centre three-quarter Paul Dodge will captain England for the 6th time in a test match this afternoon. And so the scene is set here at Athletic Park as the All Black coach Brian Lahore and the New Zealand reserves wait for the two sides to come onto the field. And Graham Thorne, the scene certainly set for a better match, we hope, than we saw at Lancaster Park last Saturday.
I don't think it could be any worse, surely, Grant. And there's the England team coming on. Conditions near perfect today. Just that slight northerly of about 6 or 7 knots. But the ground, I haven't seen Athletic Park look as good as this before.
So onto the field come the two sides. Referee Kerry Fitzgerald from Australia. The All Blacks will be playing into the northerly in the first half. It's a stiffish northerly, but as you can see, it's a beautiful day in Wellington.
I think down on the ground, the wind is not as strong as it is up here, Grant. If you look at the, when we see the corner flags where the wind's blowing, it's not that strong down on the ground.
So we're almost set to go. Here's the man who won the game for the All Blacks last Saturday, Kieran Crowley. The man from Taranaki should be chock full of confidence for this, his second test this afternoon. Referee Kerry Fitzgerald from Australia. There's the man who's returning to Athletic Park this afternoon, Jamie Salmon for England. So referee Kerry Fitzgerald signals time on and starts the test, which is so vital for the future prospects of many All Blacks. David Kirk, the All Blacks running it early. The Kerry couldn't hold it, nope. Right on halfway.
And the England side won the toss. They've elected to play with the wind, something that the South Africans did in 1981 when they got that early lead and New Zealand never recovered. And this is what England want to do as well. Keep that ball down into the 22, the New Zealand 22, using the wind, as Earl Curtin said before the game. Boot it down the other end and then play the game inside the New Zealand 22.
An injury already in the game. Steve Porkery is the player who is receiving attention. We take the opportunity here to once again welcome viewers around the world to this telecast from Athletic Park in Wellington. There's number 14, Simon Smith for England. Didn't get a run at all in the first test. Quite a prolific try scorer at this level. Let's hope we see a bit more of the back lines in this test match this afternoon. Nigel Melville for England. Harassed by Mark Shaw, got it away to Barnes. Early touch of the ball for Kieran Crowley, inside his 22.
This All Black side will be fired up. They've got so much to play for. They're on trial and they know it. There's John Ashworth. Behind him, Gary Wetton. Steve Brain, number 2 for England.
So Steve Brain, 12 metres outside the 22 in All Black territory. No score in the game. Tapped on the All Black side, but once again, as we saw in the first test, it's untidy. Kirk under pressure. 15 metres out. Steve Brain, close to the line. Bainbridge. An early try to England. In fact, it's John Hall, the big side row forward, who gets the try. And great start once again to England. Just 2 minutes gone in the game.
And once again, it came from tapped ball that the All Blacks thrashed back to David Kirk. He couldn't take it. And this is where the All Blacks got into all sorts of trouble. Kirk missed the kick into touch. And then New Zealand going backwards. And Brain just about knocked it on. Lucky he didn't take the ball. And then John Hall crashing over. What a start.
Well, what a setback for the All Blacks. And what a great start for England. 2 minutes gone and flanker John Hall gets the try. Barnes is wide out. Didn't hit it particularly well, but it's 2 points nonetheless. So England 6 points up, just 2 minutes gone.
What a start for England. We couldn't want a better start. We hark once again back to 1981 in that second test with the Springboks, and they hit New Zealand with everything, and they got that 12-point lead so quickly. Will England do the same? They could.
Crowley with the restart. The try scorer John Hall waits. 5 metres out from the 22 in England territory. And as we saw last Saturday, Kerry Fitzgerald is very quick to blow up the rucks and balls. Another injury at the bottom of this ball. Steve Brain, the man who played quite a big part in that try scored by John Hall. Number 3 there for England is Gary Pearce, vastly experienced front row forward. Let's have another look now at that shock early try scored by England.
There's the tap from Mexted, and David Kirk, watch how he misses the ball completely, and it comes through, came off an All Black hand, so Steve Brain wasn't offside. He didn't touch it, luckily, and there's John Hall, picks it up and dives over. And tapping gets teams into all sorts of trouble. Sometimes you wonder whether it's best to not to tap, just let the other side get the ball, because that tap very uncontrolled. And poor David Kirk, as he found last Saturday at Lancaster Park, in all sorts of trouble from those taps.
Scrum just out from the England 22. Held by Mike Teague. Mark Shaw was the player offside. So play going very much for England in the first 3 or 4 minutes of the game. The England skipper, Paul Dodge. Number 1 there for England was Paul Huntsman. There's Big John Alden with the beard. Steve Brain showing battle scars already. Good tap that time by Wetton, but Kirk is once again under pressure on the 10-metre line in All Black territory. First penalty of the game. Second penalty, in fact, as Gary Fitzgerald penalises the Englishman 10 metres in All Black territory. An important game for him today as Kieran Crowley looks for the touchline on his left. The hero from last Saturday, Kieran Crowley, with those 6 penalty goals. That's the halfway line, just to the right of the line, just in England territory. Once again, slap ball, this time on the England side. Carried on by Kirk. Gary Wetton takes it in, 15 metres out from the 22.
Mr. Fitzgerald is not letting those balls and rucks go on at all. He is just blowing them up very quickly. It looks like Nigel Melville is down. He was under pressure from that line out. Another tap. I think the entire All Black team went over the top of him. But 3 stoppages for injury in the first 5 minutes.
It's number 9, David Kirk, the All Black halfback. Mike Noel is okay, back to his position. The scrum was 10 metres out from the 22 in English territory. Mexted back to Kirk on the blind side to Smith, not much room. Good kick though from Smith. Taylor was there quickly. Porkery to John Kirwan. First test try for John Kirwan. Well, what an emphatic reply by the All Blacks.
And a good kick from Wayne Smith will get his confidence up. See the way he kicked it right on the point across the field. It was contested by an All Black and an Englishman. That was Taylor, picked up by Pookie. The good pass over the top, and John Kirwan did the rest.
Kieran Crowley lining up the conversion attempt to John Kirwan's try. 15 metres to the right of the posts. Particularly difficult kick for Kieran Crowley, so we've now had 8 minutes in the test match and England lead by 6 points to 4.
Here's the kick from Wayne Smith. Now the kick, if you can get it contested, you're halfway there. And Rose went up with Taylor. Good pickup by Paul Kerry and good hands getting it over the top, and away went Kirwan.
The All Blacks striking back almost immediately. Meanwhile, we're waiting still for the kick-off because there's an injury to an English player. Hugh Davis is the Englishman who's receiving attention.
He was the one that went up with Warwick Taylor. See now on the blind side, perhaps Warwick Taylor was up very quickly, number 12, and there goes Hugh Davis up there, and there the good hands from Pukeri, seeing that Mike Harrison was in between, and high ball over the top.
Davis back in position. We're ready now for the restart. Stuart Barnes for England. And as we saw in Christchurch, the Englishmen preferring to kick long from the kickoff and to force the All Blacks back to the 22. Wayne Smith looking for a gap for John Kirwan to run onto. If he keeps it in, it'll be a good one. Kirwan. Controlled by Davis, 5 metres out from the 22. Once again, a well-worked move by the All Blacks. Good combination between Wayne Smith and this man, John Kirwan.
3-1-7.
That's the 10-metre line in England territory to the right. Another good leap by Wetton, penalty against England. Big Steve Bainbridge, some pushing going on there in the line-out. And here's an opportunity for Kieran Crowley. The distance there for Crowley, he's 10 metres out from the 22 and 15 in from touch. This is just his 7th game, and it gives the All Blacks the lead by 7 points to 6.
New Zealand looking much better in the first 10 minutes of this game than they did last week. Conditions are perfect today for rugby. There's Brian Lahore. He'll be happier today than he was a week ago, sitting with Dick Littlejohn, the manager, who was the All Blacks manager for this entire year.
Once again, Paul Dodge changing the direction of play from the kickoff, and once again we'll start again from the 22. 10 minutes gone in the game, the All Blacks leading by 7 points to 6. Wayne Smith. Laurie Pearce leaping in, grabbed by Mexted for the All Blacks. Carried on by Shaw. 10 metres out from the 22. Kirk, bad pass, but well controlled by Warwick Taylor. Straight to Smith, though, having Craig Green on. Good strong tackle by Craig Green. There seems to be more commitment already about this All Black performance in the first 10 minutes. Pearce leaping high. Being taken on the English side, though. Melville to Barnes, having Smith on. Got it to Davis. Dodge backing up.
So the England side are going to spin the ball. They need those points in the first half early. Stuart Barnes, a very decisive runner, very deceptive too, as he saw in the second game against third game, was it, against Otago.
The All Blacks on defence. That's the goal line just to the right. 2 line-outs apiece in the early stages. Taken in by Murray Mexted, but it was pushed forward by the All Blacks. So here's a good attacking opportunity for England. That's the goal line just to the right, so England only a couple of metres away from the New Zealand line. Melville to feed. Oh, vital tight hit for Andy Dalton. Taylor across to Porkery. Ahead for Craig Green. Still in play, Crowley. Hacked ahead again by Crowley. 10 metres up from the 22, Smith on it for England. One again for the All Blacks, Porkery. Gave it to John Ashworth on the 22.
A vital tight head for New Zealand there. Andy Dalton getting one against the head, and now New Zealand 75 metres downfield. The All Blacks running the ball on their own goal line. And another injury break. This is what the All Blacks don't want. And there's Brian Lahore, the All Black coach. Still doesn't look a happy man.
Some confusion as to who is actually injured. Play to carry on. Kirk, controlled by Mexted, Murray Mexted. Setting it up now for the All Blacks. Kirk to Smith. Wayne Smith. Strong tackle by John Hall. Wayne Smith, who had a disappointing test at Lancaster Park last Saturday. So now it's time for the Englishmen to defend. 12 metres from their own line. Good leap in the centre by Steve Bainbridge. Ball loose though. Steve Brain, number 2 there for England. This time it's New Zealand's ball, Andy Dalton to throw. Murray Mexted going right to the back of the All Black lineout. Thrown short though. Smuggled back to Kirk. Back into Ashworth. No support from Gary Whitten. Now the New Zealand forwards gather. Vigorous work there from Mark Shaw. You can see the ball there, and he wanted it, Mark Shaw. Scrum now 15 metres in and just 5 metres from the English line. Good scrum from England. Mexted got it away to Shaw, but it was forward. "14 minutes gone in the game. The All Blacks lead by 7 points to 6. Melville on defence for England. By 10, but a good shove from the All Blacks, but David Kirk was signalled offside by Kerry Fitzgerald. Paul Dodge, the English captain, 4 or 5 metres from his own line. That's a good kick from Dodge. He's got a stiffish knock, but he went behind him, and he's taken play to within 5 metres of halfway.
Drive it! Drive it!
Paul Huntsman in the front of the line out for England. Slapped down on the English side. Penalty against England though. Not attempting a kick at goal. Smith running it back towards his forwards to Shaw. 10 metres up from the 22. Mark Shaw once again prominent in the early stages of the game. We've had 16 minutes now in the Test match. The All Blacks leading by 7 points to 6, remembering England have the northerly win in the first half. Good lead by Mexted. Got it away to Wetton. The kick from Kirk. This is where England got into trouble earlier. Davis. Good work that time from Hugh Davis. And once again, we have an injury to an English player. John Hall, number 6 this time, is the player injured.
The All Black forward looking much better. I don't know if he's injured, Grant. I think he's got some new pants, does he? Or someone does. And there's Alan Jones, the Australian coach. Of course, coached that Grand Slam side to England, Ireland, Scotland and Wales over the northern winter. He's here, of course. The All Blacks play in 3 weeks' time against Australia at Eden Park. Very astute rugby man.
Andy Dalton, the All Black captain, will throw to this line-out, which is right on the 22 in English territory. 7-6, the All Blacks lead. Once again looking for Mexted at the back. Wasn't straight. Jock Hobbs was away, but Gary Fitzgerald said not straight. Nigel Melville right on the 22-metre line in England territory. Held by T. Once again, it's the blindside flanker who came around offside, Mark Shaw, just detached.
He was keeping as low as he could, so the referee would be hidden from him, but Mr. Fitzgerald too quick for Mark Shaw that time. And poor Dodge with that trusty left boot takes play to the All Black half. As I said last week, it's always good to have a kicker with the left foot so he can take the kicks on this side of the field, and the right footer like Stuart Barnes for the other side.
A try apiece in the game. John Hall for England, John Kirwan for New Zealand. 7-6. Pearce went high, deflected it on the All Black side. It was taken in by Mexted. Now it's coming now to England. Barnes to Salmon. Good tackle by Taylor. Cook was there with Jock Hobbs. The scrum is a metre on the All Black side of halfway. Mexted up to Kirk. David Kirk. He's got a bit of pace. 12 metres in England territory. Mexted has it for New Zealand. Fired it away to Smith. Across it comes to Taylor. Hugh Davis coming in to meet it. Controlled on the England side. Melville. He's put it out on the full though, Nigel Melville. And once again, we hear the 3 blasts on the whistle, which indicates an injury, and once again it's to an England player.
I think it's actually Mike Harrison, it is, yes. But New Zealand getting a lot more control than they were this time last week. The forwards, as Earl Curtin said before the game, they know now that they've got the measure of the England line-out forwards. They've changed their throws. They're throwing a lot to the back of the line-out. Murray Mexted palming off him and running number 5 and number 4 off him. There's Murray Mexted, number 8, Jock Hobbs, number 7. Seen a lot more of Jock Hobbs this week than we did last week. In fact, we've seen a lot more of the whole All Black side in the first 20 minutes than we did this time last week.
That's the scoreline, 19 minutes into the first half. That's the England 22, just to the left. Harrison is okay.
8-3-7, 8-3-7, drive it!
The line-out ball for the All Blacks. Taylor setting it up for Craig Green. Good support from Jock Hobbs. Kirk again to Murray Pearce. 5 metres out from the 22. Again it comes to Kirk, across to Smith. Andy Dalton's out there on the 22. Mark Shaw carries it on for the All Blacks. Kirk to Wayne Smith. Still controlled by the All Blacks. Meanwhile, there has been something of an altercation. Away to the right, Gary Knight has been involved with, I think it was John Kirwan.
It's the line umpire, Bob Francis, had his flag out. There he is there. It was Gary Knight and John Kirwan, was it, Grant, I think? It'll be interesting to see what Mr. Fitzgerald does.
Well, the battle went on for a good 20 seconds between those two. Now let's see the report from Bob Francis, see what effect it has.
I think he's got the wrong guy. He wants number 4 for White, not for Black, I think. He's got number 1 for White.
There's a big mix-up there. Obviously the wrong players, because Gary Knight was certainly involved, and I'm sure it was John Kirwan for England. England still very much on defence. Held by Teague, Melville, back to Stuart Barnes.
Driving.
Andy Dalton, one vital tight head to his credit already today. Once again, the line-out ball taken in by the All Blacks. Kirk, away to Smith, Taylor. Jock Hobbs is there again. Kirk. David Cook was a bit slow in getting back. The All Blacks really are hitting some of these rucks with some venom this afternoon.
Good play from Warwick Taylor there, keeping the ball high when he goes to make the gap. He keeps the ball up, and as he goes through turns, looking for that man with Jock Hobbs then inside him.
21 minutes gone. New Zealand ahead by 7 points to 6. Warwick Taylor, second 5/8, calling the shots. All Black scrum, holding. So is the England scrum. Now it's coming to Kirk. Wayne Smith. All Blacks diving in over the top once again, trying to regain control of it. But perhaps the All Blacks just holding that ball a little too long in that scrum. Shadow of the posts just behind the scrum there is Nigel Melville on defence for England. Scrum starting to screw. Now it emerges just 10 metres out from the England line. Back it comes to Taylor, Warwick Taylor. Steve Corkery being interfered with. Now it's away from Smith. Chase for Craig Breen. First man there was Hugh Davis for England.
The All Blacks already starting to really put the pressure on England. And another stoppage for, this time it's Steve Vrain, the hooker. He had a knock early in the game. It looks like he may not be taking much further part in this game. Perhaps all he needs is a new bandage on his head. But the All Blacks are starting to get the England side in a bit of a grip after 20 minutes. They've had a territorial advantage apart from the first couple of minutes. Much as we dislike having to say that it's going to be just a matter of time before England start to crack, I think this week we're going to see it.
No less than 7 different Englishmen have been injured in the first 24 minutes. Barnes with the restart. The All Blacks ahead by 7 points to 6. Nicely taken in by Pearce for New Zealand. Oh, this is a great drive by the All Blacks. 20 metres out. Still controlled by the All Blacks. Creeping towards the English line, just 7 metres to go. It's there for David Kirk, coming rather slowly. There it is now. Smith, back into Kirwan. Jock Hobbs was there again, sets it for Kirk. Back to Porkery. Dangerous and broken play. 10 metres out from the England line. Once again, it's held by the All Blacks. Gary Wetton. England really have no counter at the moment. Smith across to Taylor. Craig Green. Whistle's gone. It was a forward pass.
That must be one of the longest movements we've had in a test match for quite a while. It went on and on and on. The All Blacks trying to get through that English defence, but the England side not cracking at all. Good tackling, good defensive work by England.
Remember, in this first half, England have the advantage of a light northerly wind. 7 points to 6, the score. 25 minutes into the first half. Nigel Melville having trouble getting it down. It's a free kick here to the All Blacks. So there could be a drop kick on here. Kieran Crowley is coming rather slowly.
I think Wayne Smith could be the man. He's walking out number 10. As long as he takes his time.
Kirk back to Smith, the drop kick. Wayne Smith, the drop kick, and the All Blacks now lead by 10 points to 6.
Last week he had a chance like this, but he was just a little bit hasty. Today he took the ball, steadied himself, and hit it first time straight through. So here's the end on. See the way he takes the ball, has a look, steadies himself, and then kicks it.
Again, the quick restart from Paul Dodge. Down to Kieran Crowley. He's running it out this time, Crowley. And that's a good variation from Kieran Crowley. The Englishmen not coming up as quickly as they might, expecting the New Zealand fullback to force it for a 22. And in fact, he's driven play back to the 10-metre line in All Black territory. Here's the first shortened line out of the game, called by England. Number 5, Steve Bainbridge is there. Number 8, Mike Teague. And at the back is John Hall, the try scorer. Grabbed again by Hall. 11 metres in All Black territory. Coming to Melville. Across to Barnes. This is one for Mike Harrison to chase. The try scorer last Saturday, Mike Harrison, or one of them for England. So that's the goal line. The All Blacks hard on defence, leading though by 10 points to 6. Good leap by Melville, supported by Orwin, but it wasn't thrown in straight. David Crick, number 7 there for England. Kirk, 2 metres from his own line. English players offside on the blind side of the scrum. The flanker John Hall was the player there who was singled out by Kerry Fitzgerald. Once again, a shortened line-out. Steve Bainbridge at the back of this line-out, marked by Murray Mexted. Brain looking for Bainbridge. Hall trying to take it in. It's Kirk who's got it though for the All Blacks. Nice little kick from David Kirk, and he's quickly up on Hugh Davis. Ball now inside the All Black 22 from Kirwan back to Kieran Crowley on his left boot.
So England trying short lines. They're working actually. They are getting more ball.
Nigel Melville inside the 22. Nicely picked up by John Orwin. 15 metres out England. Melville up again to Barnes, to Harrison. Lost forward by Mike Harrison.
And you don't do that in test matches. You don't throw tries away like that, and he will not be a happy man. Mike Harrison, he won't be. New Zealand off the hook again.
Period on attack here for England. Mexted picking it up for the All Blacks. And they'll line out 8 metres from the New Zealand line.
2, 6, 7. Jay, stop.
11 minutes to go till half-time. New Zealand 10, England 6. Back to a full line-out now for England with David Cook at the back. Coming again for England, Melville to Barnes, the drop kick from Barnes. And Stuart Barnes replies to the drop kick a few moments ago by Wayne Smith. And the deficit now just the 1 point. New Zealand 10, England 9.
Another good line-out from England, and not a very good pass from Melville to Barnes. It looked like it was always on for him to drop kick. He steadied himself and just let fly. See it from end on here. That's the third line-out in a row that England have won. It looked like New Zealand were going to get it then. So back we come to halfway. New Zealand just going off the ball for a couple of minutes there.
Taken in by Bainbridge for England. 5 metres out from the 22. Melville back to Barnes. Still just the try apiece in the game. John Hall after 2 minutes for England. John Kirwan 4 minutes later for the All Blacks. There's John Ashworth, behind him Gary Whitten, Steve Bainbridge. Good ball again for Kirk, putting pressure on England. Simon Smith waiting. John Hobbs trying to grab it. Harry Fitzgerald there ruling that the All Blacks arrived just before the ball. The man to take the full force was Simon Smith. This is the England captain, Paul Dodge. Time running out a wee bit in the first half for England, remembering they have the advantage of this northerly wind. About 8 minutes to go.
6-2-4, drive.
Gary Whitten in the middle of the All Black line-outs. Nicely taken in by Mexted. Fired it back towards Craig Green. Pretty untidy stuff though from the All Black line-out. Craig Green playing in his first test match on Athletic Park. Scott knocked down to referee Fitzgerald's satisfaction. Well push from the All Blacks, but safely away to Barnes, to Dodge. Crowley has the run. It hasn't gone out, and Crowley has the luxury of forcing for a dropout from the 22. 7 minutes remaining in the first half. New Zealand ahead by 10 points to 9. Wayne Smith from the 22. Gary Wetton was over the top of the All Blacks. Gary Knight took it in. Good control once again from the black forward pack. Kirk. Lawrence Taylor was over the top of Simon Smith, but he knocked it on.
Held on, Mark. Walk it in, please.
Actually halfway line just to the left, so play just in All Black territory. Melville. Good little kick from Nigel Melville. Craig Green having to go back, but it's well judged by the England halfback. Playing in his 5th Test match this afternoon, Nigel Melville. Quick line out taken by the All Blacks. Wayne Smith kept it in play. And that's good thinking by Wayne Smith. He's having a very much better game here this afternoon than we saw from him at Lancaster Park last Saturday.
He's getting better ball this week, Grant, than he did last week. It's a good ball, of course. It's dry. Last week it was a bit greasy. And he got that confidence in the first couple of minutes with that catch. That kick was well caught by Taylor.
Looking on the England side. Play now in England territory by 9 metres.
Gloucester!
Kirk for the All Blacks. Away to Smith. Looking up for Craig Green. Trying to get through. Has support again from Hobbs. Back to Mark Shaw. Linking again with the backs. Taylor to Corker it. Back to Smith. John Kirwan. Oh, he's in touch. Kirwan's in touch. Superb movement by the All Blacks. And really they had the English defence shot to pieces.
Poor John Kirwan got completely disorientated there and found himself actually in touch when he took the ball. He was running on the outside of the line to the inside.
3 metres from the England line. New Zealand ahead by 10 points to 9. 5 minutes remaining in the first half. More ball coming up from the All Blacks as Mark Shaw takes it in. Another good try from the All Blacks. Penalty against one of the All Blacks diving in over the top in that ruck. And that will be of considerable relief to the England side. Penalty kick from Stuart Barnes. The All Blacks still attacking though.
6-4-9. 6-4-9.
All Black back line deep. As Dalton looks towards the back for Mexted and some scuffling going on there. John Hobbs and David Cook.
Wayne Smith running in to have a go. It's not the most intelligent thing for the first 5 eights to go running in and trying to sort out forwards.
Penalty goes against England. He mentioned last Saturday in the telecast there was a lot of pushing at the back of the line-out, which it would seem undetected, but not so today. And the All Blacks now have a penalty and a chance for Kieran Crowley 3 minutes before half-time. The All Black skipper Andy Dalton must be a lot happier today than he was at the same time last week. rarely makes mistakes from that distance, Kieran Crowley, and that's the scoreline with 3 minutes to go till half-time.
And England didn't want to concede that penalty. 10-9, it's now 13-9. Just on half-time, they haven't really made the use of the breeze that they'd liked. They got a tremendous start, but they went off the boil for a while, and New Zealand were able to come back.
Craig Green. And back we go now to the 22. (13-9). Kirwan the try, Crowley 2 penalties, and Wayne Smith the drop goal for the All Blacks. That's a bad dropout by Smith. And England now will opt for the scrum back in centre field. And this could be their last opportunity to score in the first half.
There's a big chance for them. They've all gone to the left, and Hugh Rose sneaking up on the right-hand side. So probably Barnes will come to the right.
Teague to Melville. This is for Simon Smith, but Crowley's read it pretty well. And Kieran Crowley was comfortably there first. A quick restart from Crowley. Hacked ahead by Craig Green. Barnes for England. John Kirwan going back. Harrison was there quickly. Jamie Salmon was there quickly as well, but he couldn't keep it in play. And that's the end of the first half. And at half-time in the second Test match, the All Blacks lead England by 13-9. We'll be back with the second half very shortly.
So we start right.
Welcome back to Athletic Park for the second half of the Test match between England and New Zealand. The All Blacks ahead at half-time by 13-9, and that's a sad sight for England. Number 9, Nigel Melville, looks like he might be taking no further part in this game. A player who's been plagued with injury throughout his career. As Nigel Melville leaves the field, we have 1 or 2 demonstrators arriving on the field. Still waiting for the start of the second half. A little bit of confusion, I think, in the England camp. They're looking for their replacement halfback, Richard Hill. And indeed, here comes Richard Hill as he comes out through the tunnel. Andy Dalton, the All Black captain, must have been happy with the first half performance of the All Blacks, and Richard Hill comes on to take the place of Nigel Melville, coming on for his 4th Test match. Richard Hill has been a midweek player, but must have pushed Nigel Melville pretty hard anyway for a place in the Test side.
We start with one. Come on.
So the second half underway. The All Blacks ahead by 13-9.
Take it on next. Yes.
Controlled by Gary Whitten. David Kirk, early test in the second half for Hugh Davis, linking up with Mike Harrison. Kieran Crowley managing to keep it in play, closely watched by the touch judge. He did, but his kick for touch is not a good one. Davis on his own 10-metre line. Gets away from Green. Hill quickly into the action. And a lively start to the second half.
And England are playing into the wind, of course, in the second half, but they will be getting their fair share of the ball because it's going to be pushed by the wind towards their line-out. So in the first half, the All Blacks were getting the ball down their side. This time it will be the Englishmen that get it. But watch this first line-out.
Untidy once again for Kirk. Diving on it was Jock Hobbs for the All Blacks. Whistle has gone though, there'll be a scrum. 12 metres on the All Black side of halfway.
First man, Cowboy! First man!
New man on the field, Richard Hill replacing Nigel Melville.
Cowboy!
Mike Teague, a try scorer in the first test, linking up with, or trying to link up with John Hall. It was intercepted and knocked on by Mark Shaw.
Hold up, the ball's not here.
Well on!
Scrum in much the same position. All Black back standing up very flat there.
Come on, up you come, over here, over here. That's it, hold it, hold.
Gary Knight against Paul Huntsman on this side of the scrum. Hill, nice reverse flick away to Barnes. Or thumping tackle on Simon Smith by Warwick Taylor. Mike Teague was the first loose forward there though. A metre on the All Black side of halfway. Smith playing halfback. Porkery, big gap here for the All Blacks. For John Kirwan. And that should be a 5-metre scrum.
John Kirwan nearly picking up his second try there. Stephen Porkery getting himself into a bit of trouble, not knowing which way to go, looking for the support. Here's the 5-metre scrum, so just keep watching for Murray Mexted, number 8.
Black scrum, 5 metres out. Mexted looking for Mark Shaw. Lost forward though by the All Blacks. The All Blacks just losing their momentum there with the combination of Mexted and Shaw. Hill very much on defence for England. 3 minutes gone in the second half. The All Blacks ahead by 13 points to 9. Hill. Held by Teague. Oh, he just held on to it. There's a dive. Jock Hobbs, I think. It is. Jock Hobbs, the try. Continued pressure by the All Blacks wins its reward as Jock Hobbs gets the try, and the All Blacks now have a decisive lead in the game.
Mike Teague getting himself into all sorts of trouble as that scrum screwed round. He tried to pick it up. There it was mucked up for him by David Kirk. He dropped it, he picked it up again. Kirk was underneath him, and then Jock Hobbs was beside him to dive on the ball. Here we have the end on. You can watch, there's Mike Teague getting again there. He tried to give it back to Hill. Jock Hobbs there.
Kieran Crowley out near the touchline. Never any doubt about it from Kieran Crowley. And the All Blacks now with that 10-point margin 4 minutes into the second half.
Fine conversion by Kieran Crowley right between the uprights there, but it's all ahead of England now. That soft try, they gave it to the All Blacks, unforced basically. Didn't have to do it, but Andy Dalton would be a happy man.
Murray Mexted, Murray Pearce at least took it in for the All Blacks. And look at that control from the Blacks as Mark Shaw took it in, carried on by the try scorer Jock Hobbs. This is more like it from the All Blacks. Kirk, back to Smith, Taylor, Crowley in. Craig Green. Ball going loose, Porkery is there. Murray Mexted has it. metre out now. The All Blacks in rampant form. John Ashworth is close. Oh, that's superb play by the All Blacks.
That's what the people have come to see. The All Blacks swing the ball. Good entry into the back line from Kieran Crowley. And then Craig Reid coming inside. The All Blacks get the scrum. There's the goal line. 2 metres away. And it's the All Blacks ball. 15 metres of blind on the left.
David Kirk. Big scrum from the All Blacks. Mexted. Kirk. Stretching. Scrum it, says Kerry Fitzgerald.
And a bigger blind now on the left. For Mexted and Kirk perhaps to get something up on that blind side.
Once again held by the All Blacks. Mexted. Getting close to the line. Mexted. Held by Cook. Mexted got the try.
I think they might have to share that try, Grant.
Bit of a debate between Mark Shaw and Murray Mexted, but it's Mexted who gets the try. A second for the All Blacks in a space of 8 minutes in the second half, and they now lead by 23 points to 9.
Unrelenting pressure, those 2 scrums. Good control from Murray Mexted. Cook was offside, basically the ball hadn't come out. Shaw with the ball, Mexted has got his hand on it as well, and over they go. Looking at it from the end on, there it is together. We'll see who scored it now. Well, I wouldn't like to say who actually gets credited for that try, Grant.
Kieran Crowley.
And off the white.
16-point margin now for the All Blacks.
And Paul Dodge would not be a happy man seeing those 2 tries in 2 minutes. The All Blacks now can just take England apart.
Stuart Barnes. Tap by John Orwin, regained by Pearce for the All Blacks, and finally tidied up by David Kirk. So the All Blacks now have scored 3 tries in the game. John Kirwan in the first half, Jock Hobbs and Murray Mexted in the second, and lead by 25 points to 9. John Orwin scrambling after it. Gary Knight got his boot to it. Could turn out to be a pretty useful kick from Gary Knight. Simon Smith in trouble. Regained by Warwick Taylor. Murray Mexted is there. It was lost forward by Warwick Taylor as he tried to grab it off the ground and set it up for the All Blacks. The English side looking very despondent and certainly not in the game at the moment, Graham.
John Orwin hasn't really looked right for most of this game. In the first half he was favouring his hand, now it's his ankle. What the England team are talking about now, be anyone's guessed. Here's Gary Hayden, Gary Wetton, seem to have that certain fellow on the brain today. But Gary Wetton has had a tremendous game today, getting a lot of ball.
It's been a tough battle on the forwards this afternoon. We've seen a number of Englishmen go down. In fact, while Gary Wetton was getting attended to, John Orwin is being looked at. There is John Orwin.
Murray Mexted, the last try scorer. Jock Hobbs, number 7. Gary Knight, number 3. John Ashworth. Andy Dalton. The venerable front row. They'll be a lot happier today. Had a lot of stick the last week. from members of the media.
Axel!
John Orwan's okay, here we go.
10-metre line in England territory. Kirk to Smith, Taylor, Wayne Smith, Craig Green. Walker was taken out of play off the ball as John Hall grabs it. A couple of metres out from the 22. The man pointed at is John Ashworth. Barnes is just outside his own 22. And a good kick into a stiff northerly from Stuart Barnes. Play now back on the All Black side of halfway. 25 points to 9, the All Blacks lead. Remember, it was just 13-9 at halftime.
9-6-7. 9-6-7. 9-6-7. I want to drive.
Jock Hobbs grabbed it, but there was once again play off the ball. John Hall. Now the All Blacks have a move on here. It's right at centre field. Line up, Andy Dalton, John Ashworth. Handed up to Mexted. Next to halfway, Murray Mexted. Handed up by Ashworth to Hobbs. Change of direction, Crowley. Excellent kick through by Kieran Crowley, and the All Blacks again swing back onto the attack.
This is where they can use their back for the rest of this game. As we've got half an hour to go. This is what we want to see. Some good running from Smith and Taylor and Porkery and Green and Kirwan.
Beautiful take by Gary Knight in close for the All Blacks. So they're all doing their job in the forward pack this afternoon.
Steady up. Nice stop, Joe.
Kirk to Smith, Kirwan. Strong John Kirwan. Tried to find Jock Hobbs. Snapped up by Hall for England. 15 metres out from the England line. And one just gets the impression in these early stages of the second half that England are merely hanging on.
Yes, they're under so much pressure now from that All Black front eight. Now a big blind here again on the right for Mexted.
Mexted across to Kirk, trying to run Kirwan in. Mike Harrison got on the road. He did that pretty successfully last Saturday on one particular occasion, of course, when he scored the try. He doesn't look to be in the best of health, though, Mike Harrison. All Blacks continuing to press, leading by 25 points to 9. Big advantage in the scrum today for the All Blacks. Kirk away to Smith, to Taylor, missing out Porkery, Crowley, Green, Craig Green, and gets there. First test try for Craig Green, and the All Blacks score their 4th try of the afternoon.
This is the skip move, the very good move taken. Now watch the way it goes, straight across Paul Curry's chest, and in came Kieran Crowley at pace, and a good move by Craig Green coming inside his marker, and it's just the strength of this man that took him over the line. Look at that, sheer strength, good try. The end on replay, you'll see the ball come across. There's Paul Curry right across his chest, and Kieran Crowley coming into the line, and Craig Green, intelligent play. There's the side step. Look, Hugh Davis can't hold on to him, nor can Simon Smith. Over he goes.
The All Blacks ahead now by 29 points to 9. Kieran Crowley attempting to add the extra 2. No luck that time for Kieran Crowley, but with 15 minutes gone now in the second half, that's the scoreline. The All Blacks with a massive 20-point margin.
So it seems that finally the floodgates have opened. The All Blacks scoring those 3 tries now in the second half. That one a particularly good try. So now England, if they can lift their game, I doubt it, this could be a real massacre.
Gary Wetton leaping high for the All Blacks. Again, they control it. Wayne Smith inside his 22, kicking for Craig Green. It's an awkward one for Simon Smith.
Offside. The referee said that Craig Green was offside. He didn't believe that Craig Green was that quick, perhaps.
A rare attacking opportunity on the second spell for England. Hill on the 22-metre line. Once again, a strong All Black scrum. Mike Teague's lost it. Jock Hobbs has regained it. Taylor, now there's nobody home for England. Hugh Davis going back inside the 22. Back for Hugh Davis. He was up in an attacking position, looking for or to support the rest of the England backs, but once again the All Blacks with a strong scrum have taken play deep inside England territory. Murray Mexted with a free jump at the back of the line out, taken in by Pearce. Continued control from the All Black forwards. Smith, they're all in here, the All Blacks. Porkery, intercept. Mike Harrison again. He's got too much pace. And for the second time in 2 test matches, Mike Harrison gets the try.
Mike Harrison, burglar Bill, perhaps we could call him, because it was good play from the All Blacks. They were doing things in the back line. They had lots of players. Everybody was in the back line. There's the skip. There's the pass from Paul Kerry. Harrison there, and even though he's favouring a leg, no one could catch him, and away he went. Two tries and 2 tests.
Stuart Barnes to attempt to convert the second try scored by England. So Barnes converts the try scored by Harrison.
And there he is, end on, but no one's going to catch him. And that's another good try to Mike Harrison.
There he is, Mike Harrison. Last week's try was scored early in the game, but he's done it exactly the same way in the second half of the second test. The long kick-off, so play to come back to the 22. So we've had 6 tries scored now in this game. 4 to the All Blacks, 2 to England. 19 minutes gone. The All Blacks ahead by 29 points to 15 as Gary Knight drags it in for the All Blacks. John Ashworth is trying to set it up again for Kirk, which he does. Jock Hobbs leaping in. Came off an English hand, so it wasn't knocked forward. Now the Englishman spinning it. Dodge. Plenty of room to move here. Great tackle from David Kirk, who got back there on the 10-metre line in England territory. Hill up to Simon Smith. Once again, it's Kirk who's there, right on halfway. And finally across the touchline they go. But what a superb tackle from David Kirk. Referee having a close look. And there he is, in fact, David Kirk, last man up for the All Blacks. He chased Paul Dodge across the field and ran him down.
A beautiful tackle, right round the ankles.
Line up right on halfway. Andy Dalton for the All Blacks. Once again, it's there for the All Black halfback Kirk. Smith across to Taylor, running it at Will Taylor. Holding it up nicely, got it to Kirwan. 10-metre line, England territory. All Black forwards arriving a lot quicker than their England counterparts. There's a player walking up across in front of the main stand, England player exited him. Is Wade Dooley, the big policeman who's going to be on the field shortly. Now the injured player is John Orwin, so England have now used 2 replacements. Nigel Melville is off. Away goes John Orwin. So Wade Dooley awaits. He can't go onto the field until Orwin has been cleared by the doctor, so he has to wait. England are down to 14 men, and the All Blacks have a scrum just out from the 22. Cross to Kirwan. Good tackle by Harrison. Mark Shaw's there. Shaw already has had an excellent game again this afternoon. He was one of the few All Black forwards to go well in the first test. The clearance, I think, has been given. Dooley is now onto the field. So the man who many people were surprised he was left out of the first test, and indeed the second test, now comes onto the field. And this may well give England more parity in the lineouts.
ST, 2 hands, 79.
Steve Brain, 21 metres out from the England line. Look at that jump from Dooley. Bainbridge got it on the second take, but immediately Wade Dooley stamping his authority on the lineouts.
This is what a lot of people thought right from the start of this tour, that the second row would be Dooley and Bainbridge. Let's watch them in this lineup.
Yep.
15 metres in England territory. Another battle at the back. Mexted against Cook. And let's see which way Kerry Fitzgerald's going to go. David Cook really has been in a lot of trouble this afternoon. And it is indeed he who has been penalised. He's had a fiery game off the back of the line-out, but he really hasn't got the height of Murray Mexted, and I think it's frustrated him. Hasn't been able to get up and jump, and has tended to push a fair bit. And this man Murray Mexted has had total dominance at the back of the line-out. Kieran Crowley. just another nail in the English coffin as Kieran Crowley kicks his second penalty goal of the game, and it's 32 points to 15. Stuart Barnes making his mark on halfway. In the meantime, though, there's an injury to Jock Hobbs.
Jock Hobbs has had a much better game this week than he had last week. Of course, the game was a much more open one, so he's had a chance to get out among the backs, and he's been in great support outside Taylor and Porkery and Smith. And there's the crowd, which I'm afraid is not that big today. The number 1 stand there, Murray Pearce.
Barnes with the restart for England. Lovely take by Murray Pearce. 15 metres, here's Mark Shaw again. Set up for Kirk to Smith. Angling it in behind the England backs. Hugh Davis. And he's not going to find touch. Crowley, he's just on his own side of halfway. That's a big kick from Crowley. And there were just centimetres in it. That was a huge attempt at drop kick from Kieran Crowley.
And here it is, from just inside his half, hit it really well. And it didn't really look as if it was going to go over at any stage, it just fell short.
Stuart Barnes from the 22 to Mark Shaw. David Cook was there, but Shaw grabbed it. There again for Kirk. Cross to Smith. Mexted standing wide. Murray Mexted. Jock Hobbs right at his hand again. Grabbed by Teague. Barnes. Counter-attack coming from England. Salmon to Dodge. Across to Simon Smith. He's got pace. Simon Smith. Steve Bainbridge. New Zealand defence opening up. Oh, that's a bad mistake by Steve Bainbridge. He had 3 or 4 players to his left, and he put his boot to the ball.
He got into all sorts of bother. He thought he could get through a gap, thinking he was a centre 3/4 and not a lock forward, and he ran out of options in the end and kicked it instead.
13 minutes to go in the game. New Zealand ahead by 32 points to 15. Back to Hill, to Barnes, Jamie Salmon to Dodge. Bad pass, Craig Green's in. Now it's a straight out chase. Craig Green and Simon Smith. And it'll be a 5-metre scrum. Smith it was who took it back.
Good chasing from Craig Green there, trying to control the ball. Hadn't quite got the pace that Smith had, but the 5-metre scrum goes to New Zealand.
The most emphatic All Black performance this afternoon. David Kirk, close to the line. Gary Fitzgerald wants it put in again. Mexted holding once more. Mexted driving, getting close. They go to the ground. No. Mexted, in fact, landing on the top of Craig Dooley, or Wade Dooley. England with 2 new players on the field, Dooley and Hill. Tight head this time for Steve Brain. That was a decisive one. And so it's a tight head apiece. And we saw that happen at Lancaster Park last week. Steve Brain, hard on defence, managed to grab a tight head off Andy Dalton. And he's done it again here this afternoon. 11 minutes to go now. 32-15 to the All Blacks. Well controlled by Hill. 10 metres from England's line. Gary Whitten, John Ashworth.
Let's get it close.
Murray Pearce rising high. Straight through the centre of the England pack by the All Black forwards again. Let's see who comes up with it. Could be Murray Pearce. He took the ball on the line out, but it's Mark Shaw. Try number 5 for the All Blacks goes to Mark Shaw, his 6th try in Test rugby.
Tremendous forward pressure, beautiful take from Pearce, two-handed, number 4 going up there, and then the pressure going on him. Look at the All Blacks just slowly pushing Pearce. Number 6, watch for Mark Shaw. He takes the ball off Murray Pearce and plonks it down. That's the sort of play that we've come to expect from this All Black pack, and finally they put it together today. There's number 5, Gary Whitten, number 3, Gary Knight, just getting underneath Pearce, pushing and pushing and turning at the last minute, and there's Cowboy Shaw over. A happy man today, although he doesn't really look as if he wants to show it to us, but a very satisfied man after this week.
Stuart Barnes has had plenty of practice at kicking off from halfway today. All Blacks hungry for tries this afternoon. 5 metres out from the 22. David Kirk to feed the scrum, 5 metres out from the 22. Mexted up to Kirk. Hugh Davis. Oh, he's in trouble.
And just as well Hugh Davis blocked that on, because he did throw the ball into touch as John Kirwan came up on him, and that would have been a penalty. Deliberately throwing the ball into touch. He knocked it on. So once again the All Blacks hot on attack. Scrum on the 22. All Blacks ball.
Kirk to Smith, Taylor, Porkery, Crowley, Craig Green. Try number 2 for Craig Green.
Once again, tremendously decisive entry into the back line from Kieran Crowley. The skip from Kirwan. Now watch the way that Paul Carey gives it to Crowley, and there the good pass to Green, and Green over just in from the corner. Here's the end on. We'll see now the skip across Kirwan, and then Paul Carey running wide. And there was Simon Smith running off Kieran Crowley instead of taking him. He tried to get Craig Green, couldn't, and Craig Green away.
So Craig Green had scored a try in a test match before today. He's now got 2. The All Blacks have scored 6 and lead by 42 points to 15.
So luckily the stretcher wasn't needed. It could be Simon Smith actually there.
The most points scored by an All Black side in a test match was 51 against All America.
Here's the try once again. The good skip move here that Kirwan bringing it wide, but there's Crowley coming into the line, pace out to Green and over. So Simon Smith is going to leave the field if they can't put another replacement on, because they've used up their 2 replacements that they're allowed. So this means that England will be playing with 14 men. So that's really bad luck for England now, being reduced to 14 men.
This is certainly a New Zealand record for points scored against an International Rugby Board country, 42 points. As Kieran Crowley lines up yet another conversion attempt. That time for Kieran Crowley. So with about 5 minutes to go in the game, that rather unbelievably is the score, but my word, what an emphatic All Black performance it's been here this afternoon.
Yes, this second half has seen New Zealand play some tremendous rugby. It's swinging the ball wide. Poor Paul Dodge must wonder when it's all going to end. Well, it's another 5 minutes to go yet, Paul.
There they go again, the All Blacks. Mark Shaw, what a magnificent game he's had. Stuart Barnes, just on his own side of halfway to Wade Dooley. So the All Blacks coming in over the top. Tap kick taken by Hill, away to Barnes, to Salmon. Paul Dodge gives it to Mike Teague. David Cook. Barnes again. Jamie Salmon. Nicely back inside to Barnes. Couldn't get it to Davis. 10 metres up from the 22 in All Black territory. Jamie Salmon again. Just couldn't quite control it.
But full marks to England. They've tried to spin the ball when they've got it there. Simon Smith's going to come back on again, is he? I think, yes, Smith is coming back onto the field. So that's tremendous news for England. But England haven't given up at any stage today.
Okay. Missing out Taylor this time. Again, Crowley in. Taylor. Warren Taylor. Looking for John Kirwan. David Cook took it well though for England. Nice counter attack by Mike Teague. And Mike Harrison is not at all happy with Stephen Crowley. And it's all on.
And that was just ridiculous. Now, Mark Shaw had no right to go in there and have a go. That's the sort of thing that is ordering off material to come into someone else's business. Keith Lawrence was right there. So there it is now. You can see a scrap between Harrison and Polkery. And then Mark Shaw comes in and King hits him. Now that is just not on Mark Shaw, I'm afraid. That's the stuff that is ordering off material.
Kerry Fitzgerald has read the riot act. He's also marched the All Blacks. Kick taken by Hill. Gary Pearce for England. Steve Brain. 5 metres out from the New Zealand 22. Away goes Mike Teague. Kerry Fitzgerald very, very quickly blowing that ruck up. Three minutes to go in the game. The All Blacks leading by 42 points to 15. Big scrum again from the All Blacks, coming on the England side there. Truly back and slide. Steve Brain.
8-4-7.
Gary Pearce.
8-4-7 right. 8-4-7 right. 8-4-7 right.
Whistle quickly sounding again from referee Fitzgerald. So the scrum 15 metres in. Just over a minute to go. Hill. Hill away to Barnes. Missing out Salmon this time. Dodge. Davis is up. Good tackle again from Taylor. Support from Salmon though. 15 metres in All Black territory. Here's Mark Shaw. Straight into Richard Hill. 10-metre line. Now setting it for the All Black backs. Kirk to Smith, Taylor, Porkery, Crowley. One for John Kirwan to chase. Jamie Salmon's there. Kirwan. Mike Harrison. The crowd voicing their disapproval at what they considered to be some obstruction on John Kirwan. Emphatic reply to the critics by the All Blacks here this afternoon as the ball's not thrown in straight. Numbers 1 and 3, Gary Knight and John Ashworth. They were under big pressure today, but they've certainly come up with the goods, along with Andy Dalton and the rest of the All Black side. Hill. Kieran Crowley, 10 metres up from his 22s, trying to open it up. Craig Green topples over. Good recovery though. Murray Pearce was there, it was forward. And that's it, it's all over. And an overwhelming victory for the All Blacks by 42 points to 15. And there's the happy coach of the side, Brian Lahore. He wouldn't have been all that happy at Lancaster Park last Saturday, but what a wonderful effort by the All Blacks today. 42 points to 15. Mike Harrison and John Kirwan leave the field. The All Blacks scored 6 tries in the game, 2 of them to Craig Green, the others to John Kirwan, Jock Hobbs, Murray Mexted and Mark Shaw. Wayne Smith dropped a goal. The rest of the points came from the boot of Kieran Crowley. And for England, 2 tries scored, John Hall and Mike Harrison. Stuart Barnes converted both and dropped a goal. The All Blacks led 13-9 at half-time, and they won the game by 42 points to 15.
An emphatic reply by the All Blacks too. And good to see Brian Lahore there, a happy man. He must have read the right act during the week. The All Blacks knew that they had to win, and win convincingly and with a bit of flair. And this they did today with backs and forwards scoring the tries. Good play from Kieran Crowley coming into the back line. A tremendous forward driving effort throughout the game. They did actually go off the ball a couple of times, but I think they'll be pretty happy with what happened today.
Voice check.
The players on their way back into the tunnel. Crowd leaving. 42 points to 15. Here's one of the All Black selectors, Tiny Hill. Beside him is, well, we can't quite see him at the moment, is Bryce Rope, former All Black coach, and of course still an All Black selector.
That is a performance, Andy, which was so much different from last week. I guess as the All Black captain, you must be quite delighted with the improvement in 7 days.
Well, I had the effort put on us. In case of having to after last week, I think really it came down not what we read or what people were saying, but how we felt personally, and it was very disappointing even to have won, which is really what it's about, I suppose. Today it was nice to do it.
Even the first half wasn't totally convincing, so what did you say to the troops at half-time? Because that, first quarter of an hour of the second half, the All Blacks really came out firing, didn't they?
I think it was coming along all the time, Peter. It took a while to weave them down. I think when we started to get into the rhythm of things, as the game wore on, just got a bit loose at times. Everybody perhaps wanting to run with football, but all in all, certainly a great deal more pleasing than last week.
It was a performance really which was a complete one from the All Blacks, because you weren't just dominant in the forward, but the back line as well seemed to function so much better than last week.
They got their confidence. I'm sure you know, obviously all the way along. Just confidence.
Have you got any comments, Andy, about the niggly play, the overindulgence of scrapping out there at the times today?
I thought it was very disappointing, really. There was no need for it to score the way it was. I think just a little bit of football throughout the game, and the boys got more and more tired and started getting a disappointing aspect of performance.
Andy Dalton, congratulations, and thanks very much for talking to us. So there it is, the All Blacks winning a very convincing test match here over England at Athletic Park this afternoon. After this break, some highlights from today's play.